Greetings, Grandmaster Amon Ra here. I'm coming to you real the way I wake up in the morning. I don't sleep with shirts and trousers, but every morning at around 5 o'clock, I wake up. But you sleep, but you're semi-sleep, and during that time, I get all kind of thoughts come into my mind, and really good things. Sometimes I have to get up right away and write them down, and I just get a lot of revelations. And I think those are what guided me. When I created the CCGA program, I was just asleep, and all of a sudden, I just got this thing like, a digital program that works on the phone. And there was no smartphones, there was no 3G, 2G, wasn't even no 1G. And, you know, it just came to me 2011. Just woke up like that. But after I had given up the chairmanship to KKF, after being the chairman for 10 years, uh, I just got this new revelation. And it carried me on, gave me a purpose. And look where it is today. Wow. But last night, or this morning, I got another one. And it's like it told me, Amen, there's no such thing as a secure income. Go back and tell them that all that shit you're talking about, got to secure your income. That's false. And I thought about it, and I'm like, you're absolutely right, because here I am. I'm an entrepreneur, and I know a lot of you guys are. You look at me and you say, that guy been there 22 years. How do he survive? How do he make a living? And for sure, at this very moment, I don't have any bills except uh, the kids' school fees, which I can really handle. And I have money that's been promised to come in the next week. Then I have a meeting the next week after that that's going to resonate into more money. Have another meeting where we're going to try to sit down and double the Kenya Federation membership. That's going to be our big challenge this year. Double it. Wow. And uh, you know, web my well, I can go through all of my different streams of income, but in reality, uh, they all give money. But I mean, anything can happen. There's really no such thing as a secure income in Africa or in the U.S. So this scary thing that we're talking about, I come to Africa, how I'm gonna make money. We're approaching that all wrong. I'm always saying there's money to be made here. You can do it. But then even me, I'm kind of succumbed to the idea that, gotta make it so that the person can just be happy. Now you got a good income. But there's no such a thing. Anything can happen. I could be working at Detroit Motor Factory and shit. They walk in and got pink slips for everybody. I work for Rockwell International. I can talk about that now at top security clearance. It was a long time ago when we were working on the B-1 bomber. And I work for the corporate uh, section of Rockwell. And I worked in a factory near the airport, near LAX, where they had a assembly factory. And that factory uh, had something like 3,000, 4,000 people working in it. And there was a long hallway I don't know if you can remember. They used to be the largest wooden structure in the Western Hemisphere. Was owned by Rockwell International back in that time, and they had a long hallway, big, where they could drive big parts and everything, and the thousands and thousands of people would feel that coming to work in the morning. It'd just be like a wave of people, and it would fill that whole wide uh, walkway. I mean, roadway, which was inside the factory. And since I was working the night shift, when they were coming in, I was always I was leaving. They were coming in, so I would have to like scoot up against the wall, so that all these people passing wouldn't knock me over and try to get out. So that's how it was. Thousands. Every morning was like that. Of course, in the evening there was no one when I was coming, but in the morning, when I would always be like, "There's too many people." So this particular morning, after I got to my car, I turned on the radio, and the man was saying, President Carter has canceled the B-1 bomber contract. I was young. I was only 18, so I didn't pay no attention to it. I went on back to home, worked the next night, and then the next morning, when I got off work, I went outside, and I was like, there was nobody in the hallway. I mean, absolutely no one. So I'm looking around, and I'm like, what happened? This is a Wednesday. So I went back into the office because they had worked with these people all night. Now they knew they ain't never mentioned that to me, but I mean, I walked back in the office and I'm like, is today a holiday? And they said no. White lady told me all the people was laid off yesterday. And I was like, what? She said, yeah, when they went to lunch, they got a pink slip, and they, because they had to do the time punch clocks at that time. And they were all wiped out. So I went back outside and I'm like, my God, yesterday, all of those thousands and thousands of people, and I'm the only one leaving. And nobody's job is secure. There's really no such a thing as a secure income. So when we're coming to Africa, we're coming to find work, not to get where we can be okay. Because any work you get at the beginning could change. Now that comes down to the realization of an economy that can sustain you. And there again, I say the African economy can sustain you if you know how to look for work, and and you're willing to work hard. So this is something that I'm gonna start changing, and then you guys correct me. You correct me if I'm uh, you correct me if I'm wrong. Thank you, Tano with. What you got in these names? Don't do that to the video. Habarigani. So, and the second thing here is this also. I was also told this in I don't know if you call it a dream or what. These answers, they really talk to me. I mean, I don't know what you call it. I'm sure it's just me, but I like to say like the ancestors are talking to me, because it's not like I knew what the hell was coming into my mind at the time. Somebody, somewhere, somehow, some force is bringing this to me. And I know that our people are really like, I could come to Africa, but what am I going to do? And I'm saying that's your job, to find what to do. Come with enough money to sustain yourself for 6 months, and then just start looking for ways to make money. You'll know how to make it. Lance Kelly, how are you, my darling? Peace to you too. I hope you don't mind if I'm shirtless, but it's the weather here so wonderful. My family is sitting here. We're going to. Are you making samosas or what is it? Oh, okay. I hope you don't mind if I don't have a shirt on. Let me put my hand like this so you can't see my body, my gorgeous body. But anyway, the second thing that they told me was the, our people in America. When I tell you about being an African, uh, it's like they're saying to tell you to embrace Africans in America. I mean, really, some of you may know some, but you're not friends with them. But it was saying you need to embrace them. Every African you see, you should see as your real brother. This thing of they're them and we're us got to stop, and it starts with us. Now I know they have their mind twisted. They're there trying to make money, and you're trying to make money too, as an African. But if you see an African on your job, or you know of somebody that's an African, it's time to go to them and say, "Hey, we got to be friends. I don't know you, you don't know me, but now we're gonna be friends." And you always start off with, do you cook any traditional dishes where you stay? And he's gonna say, or she's gonna say yes. And then you're gonna say, "Can I have come over for a meal and try it?" And the African is definitely gonna say, "Of course." And they'll be happy to cook for you or get the food for you, and then watch you eat it. Now that food might not be to your liking at first, because when I saw it at first, I was like, "Damn, this food is bland. This thing ain't right. This ain't no In-N-Out burger. Can't compete." And for sure, it can't compete with In-N-Out burger. It can't compete with the fast foods that's out there. These people have done chemical kind of thousands, billions of dollars invested in making this food taste good. But the African food is natural, and the way you connect with the African is through the meal. My African brothers in the chat in this in there, you know, bear me witness or correct me. But we are kind of standoffish to the African in America, and this is the wrong thing to be. That guy or that girl can hold the key to your future in Africa. It was like me. I had chose Kenya as my time, but then I didn't know any Kenyans. And then I went to a martial art gathering, and somebody had created a black African martial art association, and then they was doing things like the African, funny African style. And when I went there, they had one African, Kenyatta Muhuru. And when the guy told me I'm from Kenya, I was like, oh, I just, we were in line and everybody's introducing themselves. I'm so and so, I'm so and so. And then when it came to him, he said, I'm Kanada Moro from Kenya. And I'm like, I just jumped off the line. You're from Kenya. Oh, we got to be friends. That's what I told him exactly. First words to him, we got to be friends. And I followed that boy everywhere. So he got to his house. And then, in a short time, he saw I was serious. Thank you. Emmanuel Mills, there you go. What's up, my brother? This not even gonna be long. Yeah, it's good morning for me. I don't know if you guys saw if it's at night for you, but I was brought this information from the ancestors, and they even was like, "Go live now." I'm like, "Damn, can I put a shirt on?" No. Explain this. So somewhere out there, this is resonating for somebody, and they don't care if I'm wearing a shirt or not. So yes. Now through Kenyatta, I met one boy, And from one boy, we done had 3 children. We spent 20 years together, up and on. I was in a polygamous relationship with her for 5 years with my Black American wife. Don't ask me about that's a different story. But we all lived together, and it was very peaceful. One boy was always the typical African, very polite. You know, she get mad about something. You looking at her like, how can you mad? Because you can't even tell. Because can't yell. She can't curse. So it's just a peaceful person, no matter what. I mean, you didn't do such and such a thing. And I'd be like, okay, I'll get to it. But if it was a black sister, she'd be like, you motherfucker. See, that's what I'm saying. Your lazy ass didn't do shit. And now I'm telling you forgot to bring the. Imagine that kind of stress we be talked to like that. But you can't, I mean, it's not even in the, it's not, I mean, an African woman can't form the she can't form those words. She wasn't, unless she's been there for a long time and has practice. She can't form those words to curse at you or insult you because that's not in the African makeup. And that is one of the most attractive things about African women when they're dealing with this. I mean, my lady, she'll cry if I started tripping off like that to her. Then she get mad. My woman, she'll be like, she'll start talking crap about something else. And you can just see like, oh, she's just trying to make me mad. Because she gonna talk about this over here when she's mad about this over here. So uh, you know, embrace this Africans. And you brothers out there, if you find an African woman in America, you you better be careful. If she decides she's gonna give you a chance, oh, you're done. And that woman's country is now your country. So if you find an African woman from Cameroon and you start getting together with her, Cameroon is your country. You ain't got to try to figure out I want to go to Kenya. No. So you have to be very careful with an African woman you meet her. What country are you from? And she say, I'm from Gambia. Okay, you don't want to go to Gambia. So you say, okay, let's be friends and stay friends far. Don't get close. Because then Gambia is gonna be your home country. In fact, uh, if you say Kenya is your country, like I did, and I went out and searched. I mean, once I said that this Kenya is my country, it seems like the ancestors said I'm gonna go to this African martial art thing, you know. And wow, from one you meet one from the country, then he's gonna introduce you to, you never knew there was so many. I don't know what it's like in Los Angeles today, but you people in Houston, there's many of them, and some of them have formed a wrongful opinion about blacks. Just bypass all that. You tell them that's them, they're stupid. Me, I don't even consider myself a black man. I consider myself an African like you. They're gonna look at you kind of strange, and then nobody's gonna insult you because Africans are not like that. They're gonna try to talk to you or whatever, and then don't be too pushy, but you gotta be the one to push it, you know, and say, man, let me have your phone number. Let's go, let's go sit down and have lunch together. Tell me about your country. It's how much you guys got, so many questions you have for him. And he may be reluctant because, there's a lot of black assholes out there that may have, treated him badly. It's for you to show him that we ain't all like that. Oh, what? You didn't get the samosa? Huh? It was only Muhammad. Okay, see, that's what I'm telling you. And yeah. Let me see if I can show you I don't know. Can you see my breakfast? Yeah, I just sit here and then breakfast appears. And life in Africa, somebody's gonna cook for you if you're a man. So they always challenge me now. I mean, you don't know how to cook. I know how to cook, man, but damn, you guys ain't gonna give your brother a chance. So I'm saying to you, these two things. Uh, it's actually a weight off your shoulder, and I'm here. I'm kind of unfair because I'm sitting here acting like I got a life, I got a wonderful life, when in actuality I got to run around to keep that money coming. You know, and I can know that there's some streams of income that just wouldn't work, and then I had to just let it go. But my job is to look for ways, areas that where I can make money, and when you have an economy that is prospering and booming, all these opportunities show up. You know, and actually you can create them, like I'm doing. You know, yesterday at the school, uh, the government gives out free books to all of the class 4 students because they have a new curriculum. So all these class 4 parents rushed up to the school, and they caused chaos because each one had to fill out a form, and many of the African parents don't know how to fill out forms. And school had to bring in extra teachers to try to get them all, and make sure they got the books and signed off, and that they didn't repeat the book. So I'm looking at all these forms of people sitting around. People don't have to wait, and then can't call people's names, and it was chaos. And I stood back and looked at the situation and said, there is a computer solution to this, where if we all that information digitally, we'd have all the records of the parent. You didn't have to fill out. They had to fill out no form. They get in one line, and all that information is put online. So I noted that down, and then next year, I can talk to the head teacher and say, "You see the chaos you had last year? We can avoid that by using this program to do A, B, C, D." Now I invented that, and then he sees it. He said, "Okay, let's give it a try," and and voila, it becomes the standard. So I wanted to point that out, that this, if you come here and you have a little bit of skills, or you see things the way they could work better, uh, you know, they're gonna give you a chance. You know, there's no arrogance. They're gonna give you a chance, and if you're Black American, they're gonna definitely give you a chance because they think you might know something. And as long as they still have that kind of mindset, we have a leg up when we come to Africa. It's imagine if this phone is not showing the time, and if I press on the phone and look for the time, we might get blocked off. So that's what I'm saying. I think it's about 7 a.m. in the morning. So whatever the time is, it's like 7 in the morning. What is the average week's pay for a teacher in Kenya? Okay, Karimi Asante. Oh, you see now, if you're a Black American and you got an African name, that's great. Now you're asking me what is the average salary for a teacher. This is what I'm saying to you. We cannot compare the salary with the U.S. with the salaries in an African country. There's so many variables on the standards of living, the quality of living, the location of where you are. There's so many variables, so you can't be judged by that. But all I can tell you that if you're a teacher and you come here, you're gonna find work. Now it ain't gonna be like they're gonna pay you millions of shillings. That's just not possible in a growing economy. You get me? But there's so many private schools and so many public schools that you can join, and then make yourself invaluable, and then you can negotiate pay. But it's not going to be like you went to the school, college, and teach for teacher training in the U.S. and somebody going to hire you. I mean, it could be possible, but it's rare. And another thing, you see, you come here and you try to do internet reality, and you can't learn Kenya by this internet. So you go on the internet, you start searching something about teachers, and you'll see teachers go on strike. They want more pay, and then you believe that they're underpaid because you don't see the story, and they always give you like one side of the story. These teachers ain't underpaid, man. I'm working with them every day. You got money. They got money. They got side hustles. You can't. It's Africa. You know. So you can't judge these teachers that way. You know, you know. There go our resident, and he's looking right at me. Wait, quickly chase that goddamn chicken off my property. That's that same chicken every day. I know you think I'm living on the farm now, but that's not the case. Just got, I'm telling you, two black Americans told me they bought them roosters and killed them and ate them. But me, I just keep trying to give mine some slack. He comes from his own, from far over on two houses down where he lived, and then come all the way over into my yard and then starts crowing. And he'll crow 20 times. But anyway, let's not get off the subject. So let me recap and then get off here. The first thing is that there is no such thing as a secure income. I have trouble all the time trying to build my incomes, and some they reduce. This is just this is just part of the work ethic. You know, it's not, if I don't do something, the income will stop. It's like if you come here and you get a great teacher's job, and the school loves you, and then you don't go to work, you're gonna lose that job. So when you come to Africa, your first mission is to find a job, and then from there build your incomes. Yeah, don't think about it. I gotta have a secure income. I was wrong in saying those things, and I have been pointed out to come back and tell you the truth about that. So I still stand by what I said, that you come to Africa with no money and your mind will be geared straight towards making money, and you'll be able to do that quickly. But you come here with like 5,000 US dollars, then you come here and see the, hey Kira, why am I looking at this chicken and I don't see, take that chicken out of here, man. God damn. He's coming into the house. Can you imagine? Anyway, yeah, so you can't compare the two incomes. It's each one is individual. So, I mean, everyone comes as an individual. And the second thing here is that embrace Africans, locate them, especially the ones you from the country that you adopt, and you adopt that African country, then you find Africans that are from that country. Be very, very careful meeting an African and you don't know the country they come from. If they come from a French type of African country, you're gonna have problems. You know, South African, you won't really find no South African because they don't like to travel to Africa. Believe me or not, there's some countries that just have no care about going to leaving their countries. Contrary to popular belief, where you think Africans is running to come to America, they're not coming to America because they're trying to get away from their country. They're coming to America because they think they can get quick, big money. And when you find an African and interview him and learn about what his situation is, you will find that out very quickly. They're not interested in get Disneyland. They're interested in making money and supporting their people back home. So when they go back home, they have respect. But at the same time, what they don't realize is the African doesn't realize in America is that he's using his best years and wasting them mopping floors, doing odd jobs that have no, security, dead end jobs. They're using their best years to do these jobs. So when they're 30 or 40, they go back to their country. They have no experience in their country, no side hustles, no, you know, things they actually have to get back in there and start developing incomes. And some of them, they fear that because they never worked in their country before. And that's why they stay in America. Just a reminder, you have some Social Security back there. Don't leave it for the man. Yeah. In 5 years, 3 more years, I'll look into that. That's why I say I'll be going to America for 3 years. So we'll see. And for those people that are young, don't realize Social Security money is safe from creditors. Creditors can't take your Social Security money. So if you got like a student loan and they are garnishing your wages and all of this kind of stuff, they cannot garnish Social Security money. So that's against the law, and thank God it's like that. Otherwise, you'd be seeing a lot of poor people sitting on the street. So you should also realize that is the case. But I don't know whatever gonna await me when I get to America. I'm sure they have some shackles, some kind of shackles for me, some sort of thing where cause I had bought an ink cartridge just before I left. The guy took long, and it was delivered, but I didn't pay for it. That was in 1996. So I wonder if they're gonna charge me interest on that one ink cartridge when I come back, and then they be like, "We got you," you know. That $3 ink cartridge is now costing you 50 million shillings. I mean $50 million, because it was based on the interest. And then they be looking at me like they seriously want that money, you know. So, and that's America, you know. But uh, I'm saying in Africa you don't have that kind of stress, and definitely should develop your African plan. And definitely you should just try to meet some Africans that are from your adopted African country. Get your first thing to do is get adopted in an African country, learn all about it, then find Africans inside America that are like that, befriend them, and you gotta let your guard down. Black American thing. Just remember, you're not Black American. You're an African like them. Make them understand. They might say, "No, no, no, you're Black American." Tell them no, till they realize it. You might even have some good debates about it, but at the end of the day, he gonna tell you basically, you're right. You're my brother. You know, especially when you get here, they're gonna say you're my brother. They know our situation, and they're willing to help us. But we as Black Americans, we started putting our nose up like we different from them. We better than them. They in my country. It ain't your country, man. Shoot, how you been in your country for 100 years getting your ass kicked talking about this is my country too? No. Imagine you be riding down the road with your African friend, and the police pull you over and throw you out on the ground. Shit, that's your country? Hands up in there. Put your hands behind your back. You ain't got no guns, no weapons. This fool still handcuffing you. You know? Oh, we gotta watch out for police safety. That's just a big fat lie. There's no amount of police getting shot worthy of that type of policy for everybody they pull over. It's just crazy. So I think that it's time to come to the realization that we are not Black Americans. We're Africans. Embrace that situation, and you find yourself already starting to get a little peace in your life. S-Man, there you go. You're coming in when I'm getting ready to go off. But this is just Grandmaster. I'm Rod. Wanted to come in with that information. And until we meet again, peace.